Good morning, good morning. Sorry for the little delay. It's raining outside and my kids needed a little ride to school, so I had to get there and take them last second, to be honest. So welcome to today's ad-free live stream. Super pumped that you're here. My name's Tyler and I'm going to be navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures. And for those of you that are always here, I say this because there's people that watch this after the fact. So I want to make sure that they know all the stuff, what to expect on these streams. I know that you guys know what's going on. So I'm going to be breaking down live price action, sharing my daily trading bias, and giving you real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action. If you want to watch this after the fact, or if you are watching after the fact, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. Good morning, Sandra. And I'll share all the trades that I've taken, the detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why, so you can learn exactly what I was thinking as well. Now, for those of you looking to take your trading to the next level, if you want to use, if you're looking to use some type of prop firm cash, I have an 80% discount for you. That is using the code DTJ. You can get 80% off of an Apex eval account, and that would actually be about $29 for a 25K account and $30 for a 50K account. You can find all that down in the links in the links in the description, codes in the description. And with that, let's go ahead and open in prayer. It's a brand new week after some crazy price action last week. So Father, we just welcome you into our trading. Lord, we just honor you. We acknowledge that you are the one that gives us the ability to produce wealth. So we don't take that for granted, Father. We choose to be patient. We choose to not have any selfish ambition in our hearts and lust for more, to enrich ourselves, but to have a kingdom impact on the world around us, Father. I just pray for everybody here that they would be blessed with everything they set their hands to. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Good morning. I'm super pumped that you're here. I don't know why, but I know why. I was going to say that this light feels really bright, and it's because I don't have a hat on. And that's why I wear a hat. Because the light is so bright that I just want something covering my eyes. It's just so bright. I don't like it. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Ted, Richard, Jordy. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I am not set up yet. Oh my gosh, look at that on ES. That's what I just opened my charts to see. That's beautiful. This is a sign that the AM session is going to be choppy. That's no bueno. No bueno. We have no news today. Good morning, Eva. Is it Eva or Ava? How would you say that? Eva? I'm assuming Eva. But just want to make sure I'm saying it right. Oh, look at that beautiful price action, folks. I would have liked that. Even on the 30-second, that's really nice. Right there, basically, would have been your entry. Wow. We did not get into that. Sorry, I'm just reflecting on that. We got 5 minutes till open. I'm going to get everything set up. So I can do the 930 model, and then we'll look at price action. For those that are wondering, I did send the email this morning. The email has been sent for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy and Discord. It is in the inboxes of those that have signed up for the waitlist. So let me know if you did not get it and you are on the list. You have to be on the list to get it. All right. We are doing another test trade on the 930 model. We're going to be testing out the copier. I tested it out last week to confirm that it did work. Wanted to make sure that the copier was copying correctly on the model. And we're going to test it out again, only with 1 micro. Make sure everything is correct on that. Let's see. And then we'll go over higher time frame analysis. Let's start with a daily here. Alright, so the only level I'm really interested in is this level here. I want to see if we are going to run that previous day low. We've had such a huge move yesterday that we could have a fake break day. Could be a fake break day type of day. Meaning we don't hit the highs or the lows and we stay inside this range. So that's the idea that I think we may see. Which unfortunately doesn't give us much of a bias. It gives us a little bit of a short bias, but we did stop and open on these opening range gaps. I need to mark our new week opening gap here in a second. I'm getting some other stuff set up. Let's see what we got here. Alright, Sunday's open is right here. Friday. Alright, see what we got for an opening range, or for our new week opening gap. There it is. There's the close, and there's the open. Very small. Three minutes till open. Alright, that is open, 9:30, and then Q. I'm sorry, because I had to take my kids to school, I am unprepared for the open. So I apologize, or I would be a little more on point here this morning. Let's find our midnight open here. We have 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get the midnight open here. Sitting way up here. And it looks like we're going to have a premium opening range gap to the downside. We swept some buy side liquidity. Looks nice for a little push lower. See what 930 gives us. All right. Let's see how that turned out. Well, the trade worked. And it copied. It just didn't copy at the exact same time, and that's what I've been concerned about, is the effectiveness of it closing exactly when I need it to. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look and see what's going on. Good morning, everybody. Eva, okay, thank you, Eva. Viking, good morning. Glad to have you this morning. Opening range gap is hit the midpoint already. We looked and I basically called out that we're probably going to see a nice little drop here. We swept buy side liquidity sitting right there. And a nice little push lower. Okay, I am still getting settled here. I'm going to look at and see what we got as far as a higher time frame narrative. On a weekly time frame here, folks, we had this nice push to all-time highs. We made it last week, and then we basically grabbed that liquidity, hit all-time highs, and then we rebounded to this weekly order block, and that's where we stand right now. Now, we have yet to see what's going to happen on this weekly order block. We drop down to the daily. We are inside this daily volume imbalance, sitting in this cluster of new week opening gaps, which I expected to some degree that price was going to find support here when we were having this drop. I just didn't know if we were going to get all down there by Friday. And that was the big reveal on Friday, that we did get, in fact, all the way and closed in there. As far as lower price action, we still do have this daily fair value gap sitting beneath us. Daily. And then we also have we have not had a fair value gap. Our first fair value gap for the morning has not dropped. Do like this level right here. Price did grab liquidity here, but did not grab all the way higher. We do have this high. Is this London? No. That's 6 a.m. We have London highs up here. These relatively equal highs are all on London. These are London, so I like those levels here. We're going to mark that. Let's see, this is 154. I really like this level here. It's right at 930. London high. London lows have been ran already. and we are finding resistance at this breaker here, also overlapping with the October 28th new week opening gap. Let's see if it wants to find that support there and continue higher. How was your guys' weekend? How's your guys' weekend? We have a good weekend? CM, good morning. Northern, good morning, my friend. Yeah, I guess I should probably say good morning and good afternoon. There's people from all over the place here. Kiddo fun. What'd you guys end up doing? Where's our draw on liquidity? Our draw on liquidity to the downside is down here. It's previous day low. Previous week low. That level is really what I'm watching. I want to see lower prices. We just need to see price want to give us those lower prices. Right now, we've just seen back and forth price action. We are not going to play in that. We're not going to participate in that. Didn't leave the house, Tony. I went hunting, took my son, my youngest son, hunting for the first time. There's an initial break right there. I'm going to do a little test trade, and we're going to see how that reaction goes. See if we can get 10 handles off of that. Let's see, 47, 37. I don't know if my mini screen is going to work here. Yeah, there. Oh, there it is. Okay. I would like to get 5 more likes. Let's hit 5 more likes, see if we can get that. We're taking that trade based on the breaker. We swept buy side liquidity. I want to see if we can get a 10 handle reaction from that. Close, but not quite. Stop is a standard 10 handle stop loss at 57. So it's a 1-to-1 trade. Doesn't look like we're going to get it. We're hitting this low here. All right. I wanted to try that. I've been testing out these, and I'm very, very light on the day, and I wanted to test that. Ooh, I like this. 1 minute. Conversion. I think if I actually got that entry right on the breaker, I would have been able to get those 10 handles. It did give 10 handles, but I got a little too high, lower of an entry. below that breaker level. Oh, yeah, there it is. So we got midnight open, which midnight open, it was tagged there. We have the London highs. I'm not too confident on any direction at the moment. The only confidence, I just have more confidence in the downside towards previous day low, but we don't actually have to get that level. That's really the only confidence I have as far as a move. Not an extended move, but a move that had some type of substance to it. Had the cousins over, lots of soccer, Dave and Buster's. Eva, are we going long? No, I tried a short on the breaker. I've been testing out certain characteristics of a breaker, and this one had them. And actually, no. This didn't have all of the rules of the breakers that I've been testing. And this because I'm new on this model that I'm testing with a bunch of specific rules, and one of the rules are that I only take the trade inside of the market, the macro time. And when I took the trade, I wasn't even thinking about the macro time. All the structure there was there, and I just took it outside of the macro time. So I prefer a downside. If I have a bias, it's to the downside. Short term, I'm looking for specifically the previous day low, the previous week low to be tagged. That's really what I want to see. And we still haven't gotten a fair value gap. This may be our first tiny fair value gap sitting right here. And there's our fair value gap. That's just very small. We'll note it. I do like this level. We never broke that breaker, or we never broke this inversion fair value gap to the upside. Only thing that now that we have these series of down close candles, if we close above this, that makes this much more interesting. I wasn't interested. I wasn't going to take it before because we never ran any sell side liquidity or significant level that I liked. So I didn't want to take it on the first pass. But if we do get up there and it wants to get up there and it wants to run this buy side liquidity and this low resistance here, I may be interested in that, but I'm waiting. I wait until 50% of the manipulation leg of the breaker. There is this inversion right here to the downside on the 30-second. A lot of support in there. Why does that keep going out on me? This is the 5-minute time frame that I just opened here on the left. Breaker, support, I do like that. Okay. I mean, I'm liking the downside here. Let's see how this looks here. There it goes. Ooh, what a wick. Let's see if it closes below first. When you get a wick like that, you want to wait for the close. Alright, looks like we're going to get the close. Let's see if we can get a push to these lows. Alright, once we get 10 handles, I'll be looking at closing this. There it is. Closing that at 15 handles. The reason I closed my trade is there's no news, and I'm being more conscious of taking my profits on no news days at my standard 10, 15, 20 handles. And then on the days with news, that's when I will be looking at letting my trades run more often. I'm trying to be more systematic in that, taking the emotions out of it and just choosing to take the profits and run. So that puts us green on the day. Nice winner there. Don't need to do anything fancy. But it was in the direction that we wanted to see. I wanted to see a downside move. I wanted to run towards the previous day low, which is sitting way down here at 20,405. Let's see what kind of support we get right there. We are in a 5-minute fair value gap sitting right here. We are closed in 40 seconds. Let's see how that closes. This is a 5-minute BISI. BISI is buy side imbalance, sell side inefficient, meaning we are waiting for sell side delivery. If the 5-minute closes below, it's a sign of lower prices. And the 15-minute also closes in 10 minutes, and it has a 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. 5 seconds. All right, no close on the 5-minute. First thing I want to see is a manipulation. If we are going to see lower prices, we should see price move higher right now. We just have a 5-minute candle. If we see lower prices first, I would be partial to seeing that as my manipulation and we see a move higher on the next candle. But we still have the 15-minute candle we're waiting for. Yes, Jordy, that's kind of what I'm looking at, is finding out how much do we want to go long. Is it a long? Do we want to go long? It's really, we're watching right here. This is a break. This is an inversion breaker. You see the breaker here, low, high, lower, low. On the 1 minute, our last line of defense towards the lows is this level here. For support, that is. If I'm going to take an inversion, it needs to be extremely obvious to me. First time joining, Kane, welcome. Been a prayer there over the last few weeks about trading, been learning. I'm new to the prop firms, futures, etc., and starting to learn inversion fair value gaps from someone else. I came across your channel and saw that you also do inversions. Plus, with your kingdom mindset, just felt like a clear confirmation from God. I appreciate your stepping out and making this channel. Hey man, Kane, I appreciate it. Well, you may be interested in joining the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, which I just closed the sign up for that for those that were on the wait list, but I'll be releasing that next Monday on Black Friday to the general population. So if that is something you would be interested in, it's going to be fantastic. But it's going to be a Discord, and it gives you an educational platform, or it teaches you how to trade inversions, how to trade breakers, and huge on the mindset. So if you want to join that, would love to have you, Kane. Thanks for coming to hang out. I really appreciate it. Long at 519. Okay. Let's see. I like the idea of making a low and lower low, and if we can find some support here, honestly, what I really would like to see is a tag of the new week opening gap right here. I want to see the tag in the new week opening gap for the first time. Did we get that? No, we tagged it in the pre-market, but I'd like to see it tagged, and if we can find support here to then move higher, that would be more confirmation for me to start looking for those longs. And as far as inversions, this inversion will overlap with a breaker. So we're going to have an inversion fair value gap right here. And we also are going to have that overlapping with this breaker right here. So I like the overlapping confluence. We just need to see if price wants to actually move this direction. And I think we have enough to support the idea of moving higher. Honestly, I really would prefer us to run liquidity down here to then do that. But if we can find support and then we see nice, strong displacement, meaning I want to see aggressive candles, that would give me enough to consider taking a long, because this is the only fair value gap in this price leg to this high. And that's a nice chunk of change right there. If that was to take place, we're looking at 30 handles. So, I mean, there's opportunities that could be there. Let's just see how it reacts now that we've tagged the new week opening gap. We're at 8:30 open. I never marked my 9:30 open, did I? Let's mark 9:30 here. Sitting right there. This is what I'm wanting to see. I want this to close green. That's a great sign that we wicked down into it but closed green. There's not really an entry before this. and we have a 5-minute change in state of delivery over here. So we just need to wait a little bit. We're in the macro. We're in the 10 a.m. macro. So if there's going to be a time for an opportunity, this is when we would want it to be. 50 handles. Ted, are you joining? Are you joining the Purpose Driven Academy? I can't remember if you were or not. If you were, would love for you to share it in one of those. I have a channel that's designated for people that want to share their model, and then people are able to back test it. So I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be some kinks and things we're going to have to work out in the Discord, because anytime you start putting people in thoughts and inputs, it sometimes can get messy, but I'm really excited on what that will look like. And I did send that email out to everyone that was on the wait list. So if you did not get it, let me know, because sometimes people don't get those things. Well, congrats on that 50 handle move, man. That's huge. That's a big deal, 50 handles. Hey, eval or performance, bro. All right, look at this. We have a tiny inversion right here, and we grab this sell side. If we don't hit this low, that would be an easy trade. I'm not taking it because I'm still waiting. We're in consolidation. Do you see this tiny inversion? Tiny inversion right here. We swept buy side right here. And this candle wick closed. Let's see how it closes right here. It should run lower. That's how I see it. If it closes, it needs to close below it. Actually, I kind of like this. Let's see if it wants to close. Alright, did it close? It did close. Let's see what happens here, if it wants to go or not. What time frame is that, Kane? I got the 30 second, the 1 minute, and the 5 minute. You should see it on the top of the charts. They should all be there. Let's see how this reacts to this inversion here. This is what I'm watching on the 1 minute specifically. Because of how high this is, because of how high this potential target is, I'm more interested in it closing above and coming back down, finding support, and then moving higher. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I'm not going to go long on the inversion, on the close above. Because of how far away it is, I want to see it come back down, find support in the breaker, and then move higher. So I'm looking for that extra confirmation because it's a no news day. Apex charges an activation fee when you pass an eval. So it is $85 it's a one-time fee, $85, and then as long as you don't blow that account, you can have that account up to 10 years without paying anything on that. Yeah, an inversion of that would be really nice, of that 5 minute. There's 9 o'clock. There's the entry. It didn't give it to me. See how it wicked down right away into that? Wick down right, did an immediate rebalance to that candle right there. Oh, I'm sorry, there it is. So if we want to take this, the target is here, but there is another break-even point right here. When we hit this level, we need to move our stop to break even. So let's see if we can get up to that level. Alright, stops now to break even. We're going to let this trade run out. See if we can get all the way up here and hit that level. That would be 30, just under 30 handles, if it can give it to us. If it makes equal highs and doesn't actually tag it, I will close that position. Good close. Let's see if we can get another push right there. Alright, there's the close. 110, 108 ticks on that trade. Just under 30 handles. Nice trade. The thing about the 5-minute Jordy is that trade didn't even give us the 5-minute close. So it's really hard to trade that 5-minute inversion to want to go long. It's super hard to do the 5-minute on that. I haven't found a way to use the 5-minute on those quick reversals. To me, I'll use the 5-minute for those large change in directions, for a 5-minute change in state of delivery, which we did get. So instead of us trying to see this inversion right here, let me explain. So here's the inversion that you referenced right here. What I was okay with seeing was this close right here. This close of this candle was it came into the new week opening gap right here. So these two blue lines is the new week opening gap. When this candle closes above this handle, we now create this order block right here. This order block also is called a 5-minute change in state of delivery. And that is what I was looking for. So this is 59.30 right there. So that's where it closed. This candle right here. And so when we did this initial wick lower into the breaker, that's when I knew I wanted to get long. So we closed over on the 1-minute. And we wicked lower immediately on the 5 fresh minute new candle into the breaker. And that's where I said I want to get long, because this looks really nice. And then it didn't even give us an opportunity. It just continued to push higher. Now look at that. We could have took some size off right there, ran for this level. We're running now for this high. We potentially are running for these highs. and we could be targeting the London high up here. Seems it seems all possible. You said that you did not take trade on that fair value gap. Viking, can you expand? Explain what you mean. I'm not sure what I may have referred to. I did point out that I wanted to go long here. Oh, sorry. You guys are looking at the wrong chart. I did mention that I wanted to go long here, and I added it to the screen. I missed a ton of trades like that, but it's more safer. 100%. It is. Okay, we just swept this high. Barely. Okay, and the breaker model is inside. I go into great detail on the breaker inside the academy, and I have it on my channel as well. But you have a low, a high. It's basically a pattern that looks like this. Low, high, lower low, and then we break above it, and then we come down and we come to this high right there. So we hit this high in this candle. It just happens to be the same candle. And then we move higher. That is the breaker. Here was another breaker right here. A small one. We have we have a high, low, higher high. Swept these highs over here. So we draw a line over here. We come below it, we come back up into it, and it rejects it. Now, we don't trade patterns. Now, these are very visual patterns, but you have to have liquidity be ran. What is liquidity? It is these levels here. So you can see that this candle, there's buy stops sitting up here. So people that went short, they put their stop losses up here. And so when we run these, that tells us that price may want to start moving the other direction. So when we do see it, and it comes back up here and acts like it wants to go higher, we already know that it ran this liquidity, so it may want to run lower. And so that's what happened here. So will you take, Jordy, will you take that trade if it drops into the 5 minute? That 5 minute change in state of delivery like it did here? So you have your break, you have your order block, you have the 5 minute change in state of delivery, and then when it wicks down into that order block, that is your entry. It's a nice model. It's not 100%. And there are circumstances where it won't work out. You really have to make sure you hit liquidity or you hit an imbalance where price finds it wants to change directions. And the new week opening gap is big enough in my mind for me to consider a long. I really do want to see the previous day low hit sitting way down here, the PDL. Yeah, I understand, Jordy. So, Kane, if I'm adding to our conversation, just kind of giving you some general direction here. Based on how this price action and how aggressively it moved here, it was very intentional on running these highs. If I was to guess, I think we would probably run up to these highs. How we get there is the big question mark on a day with no news. So, for me personally, I am going to be done trading on the day, and I'm not going to be taking another funded account trade. I got my move. 30 handles, guys, is more than enough. More than enough to be profitable and to quit any type of job when you can do that consistently. When we have a no news day, price action can be hit or miss. It could be very good. This move was beautiful, and we could see this price continue up to these levels right now and just continue to move up in that direction. But the opportunity was down here, and we are running liquidity right here. So we need to see how it wants to react now that we've ran these levels of liquidity here. Now that we've ran that, does it want to find support at this level and move higher, or does it just want to sweep it and then move back inside this range? Because right now we are inside of a range from this high to this low, and there's equilibrium sitting right here. So we're already sitting in premium. So trades taken up here are more risky if you're targeting these highs, if you're looking for a bullish move. But if you think we're bearish and we may run down to this previous day low, then this is where you'd want to take your trades. You want to look for your shorts up here above this red line. That would be the most advantageous type of trade, is to take your shorts towards this line up here. Now, you have to be bearish. If you're bullish, these trades up here are a little more risky. They could still work out if this is the draw on liquidity. Which, if we're going to have a fake break day where we don't run the previous day low or high, this could be for sure in the cards. I mean, I like that low resistance liquidity. All these swing highs that haven't been ran yet. Or in the retail space, you would call it a trend line. Way more fixated on this sandwich. A panini? Is that what you called it, Jordy? What did you said? A panini pressed. Did you get it from like a Panera Bread or something? Panera Bread has those. The other thing is we're outside of the macro time. Actually, we have about 1 minute left. So I would, if I'm looking to trade with conviction, I would probably wait till 10:45 and trade between 10:45 and 11:15. Could we get a trade before then? Yes, but just knowing it's a no news day, that's the approach that I would take. Yeah, where you make your sandwich and then you press it on like a heated top and bottom, and it makes a nice toasty bread with melted cheese and ham or turkey. Delish. Ted, we had a press at one point. We had got rid of because we got overusing it. Make sufficient frying pan. Kane, I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Nebraska, just north of you. We're actually headed to Dallas in a couple weeks. We're headed to Dallas for a conference. Apostle Catherine Crick. My wife is really involved in her ministry, and she's having a Flourish conference. And my wife really wanted to go. And I said, well, let's just make it a little family vacation. We're going to go visit some friends in Dallas. And so, yeah, I think it's December. First or second week in December. I don't know exactly. Yeah, Tony, ICT does 10 minutes before and 10 minutes past, 10 minutes after. I extended mine. So this is Tyler talking. This is Tyler's strategy, Tyler's approach at this point. I do teach all ICT's concepts, but I have modified some of them for myself. My macros begin at the 15 mark because I've seen so many breakers. I've seen so many inversions that have happened between that 45 and 50 time frame that I'm just like, okay, I mean, I want to take these. I want to feel more confident about taking these trades. So let's just extend the time. It also lines up with the quarters theory, which I'm not big into the quarters theory, meaning every 15 minutes there's 4 quarters in an hour. There's 4 sessions, 4 time sessions in a day, right? That I moved my time from the 9:50 to 9:45 beginning of the macro, and that's kind of what I use at this point. And if I'm honest, it hasn't hurt me. It hasn't hurt me at all. So I've been sticking with it. I've been doing the 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after for the macro time for about 6 months. And I'll pick that over it 100% of the time. Now, I have seen moments where the 10 o'clock time frame shows up and I see a reaction in price. I have seen that. So I will admit that I've seen the aggression sometimes, not all the time, begin at that 9:50, 10:50, 11:50 time frame, and I've seen it move aggressively. But when I'm looking for my setup, when I'm looking for that breaker, I'm looking for that sweep of liquidity, when it happens at the 10:45, I still get that confidence that we're still going to potentially get that big move or that reaction at the 10:50 mark. So I just extended it a little bit where it has helped me in my analysis, and that's why I do it. Good luck. Good luck, Jordy. Let's see, 25. Do we have any liquidity here? We got a breaker right there at 1022 or 20,622. This will be a reaction point, I almost guarantee it. There will be some type of a reaction here. Yeah, I know Austin, it's about an hour and a half from Dallas. It's west of Dallas, if I remember correctly. At one point, my wife wanted to move to Dallas, and I'm like, the traffic there looks horrible. I've driven in it a couple times. I'm just like, no. All right, let's see what happens right here. We should get a little push right here. Let's see if we can get that and see what kind of reaction we have here. You avoid Dallas at all costs. Really important that this candle closes above this down close candle, creating a order block. That will be great news. Doesn't mean we can't go lower, but we want to see this order block supported. So let's see where this candle closes. And we also have an inversion on that that right there. So we should see, let's see if we get a nice reaction right here. Yeah, nice. If you did take this 30-second inversion, your stop loss will be as soon as it hits that high. I'm not taking any trades. I'm done. But I'm watching that right there that we closed above on this candle. We did not get a 1 minute close on this down close candle yet. We'll see if we get it on this next one. The risk we have of trading now is we're at 1021. We're in between the macros, which makes it very... Alright, so that inversion failed, as you can see. Is that if on no news days, there's a lot more uncertainty as far as how price wants to move. And right now, it's just getting sloppy, in my opinion. Yes, we have this nice move, but let's see what it wants. It's just... I really would have wanted to see it run this high right there. And especially if we close below it and this next two candles now runs it, that kind of stuff just irks me. This is immediate rebalance right here. Alright, there's the immediate rebalance. Let's see if we get a reaction right there. I'm just reading order flow. We had a little bit of a wick, but we initially moved lower. Let's see if it wants to give us that. No, it doesn't. Yep. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Look at that. Inside of the last 3 seconds. Morning, Deborah. I always like seeing your sunshine emojis. Creating low resistance liquidity. 5 minute here. Yeah, we are inside. We're for sure inside. We don't technically need to actually hit this level. We came into this fair value gap that's overlapping with this breaker, and it could find that reaction here. I still want to see how it reacts, though, once we hit it for the first time. I'm not going to take it. This is technically outside of the rules for what I would use for my breakers, for the breaker that I'm currently testing. Inside the Discord, I'm going to start another. I'm going to start another back testing chart. So there's your. Let's see if we can get 10 handles from that reaction right there. Let's see if you can get a 10 handle move lower. 10 handles there. And there's your 10 handles. So one of the rules that I put in for these breakers on the law of first exposure, I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but this is the first exposure to this breaker right here, is that it needs to be inside the macro, and this is outside the macro time. So as far as like my rules that I'm back testing, this would not be a trade I would be trying out. 2.5 hours? Okay. Elevate Life Church. Elevate Life. Who's the pastor there, Kane? When we go to Dallas, we go visit the Upper Room. We have friends that moved to Texas specifically for the Upper Room. So it didn't give us 10 handles. Or Texas football. Yep. Texas is doing great this year. Keith Kraft. Way to go. Way to go. It looks like it still wants to push through and up to this London high. Yeah, London and midnight are kind of opening. Are in line together. I like that. I like those levels. A nice potential opportunity would be taking this right here on the 1 minute if it hasn't closed already. But it looks like it already did. Yeah, it's being aggressive here. Wouldn't surprise me if we do something like this. Come up right to it, don't touch it, retrace, and then run it. Or we just run right through it. I put this in here because many times I'll see price. It gets really aggressive. People are like, oh, it's going to run, it's going to go, it's going to this level. And then all of a sudden it just retraces aggressively to some level and everybody gets stopped out and then it continues. It's been a rough one. Alright, let's see if this gets down into this fair value gap here. That's what I would be looking for. Let's see if it gets down into that fair value gap. Finds support inside of the premium portion. Nope, ran the high there. Alright, there's midnight open and there's the London high. I still think we could sweep a little bit higher. We have some liquidity that's sitting right here. But overall, a great, fantastic trade. We took ours off at 30 handles. But this whole trade itself, absolutely huge. Where was that? We got in long right there. Look at this. This just, you know what? Even though I didn't get this whole thing, man, I feel so proud of myself. I feel so great. Every time I'm on the right side and I take a trade and then I see it run these high levels, Guys, it also adds to the confidence for the next opportunity. Maybe I go for not just this high, maybe I go for this next high, or I go for this high. And I continue to build that confidence for these larger moves. So there's 119 handles. 119 handles. And you don't even need, 30 handles, guys, is so much money. 30 handles. I did half size. I did a half size, so I did 5 micros today. Downsized from my normal lot size of 10 micros when we have news and I know price is going to be good for the most part. And I walked away with $275 on 7 accounts. 2 of those accounts are evals that I just added. So I have 5 performance accounts right now. So it's close to $1,500. That's all we need. That's all we need. All right, let's jump to the daily here real quick. Let's look and see how high this may want to reach to. So I think at this point it's safe to say the previous day low, at least for the AM session, is out of the cards. We may reach back down here in the PM session if it wants to run this level. There's a 77% chance that happens. There's a 11% chance we don't hit this level. Okay? Based on 200 trading days, it's 11% chance that we don't hit this level. So we could be way up here. If we find support up here, or let's just say we hit 50% of the previous day range. Look at that. Look where the previous day range right there. This is the next level that I would be watching, is that right there. That 50% level. I know people that are in this trade for that reason, reaching for that 50% level. Look where that 50% level also overlaps with. It overlaps with this breaker. High, low, higher, high, breaking lower. This was the trade that we took on Friday. Got a nice move here. And we sold it at this low. We could have held that there for another 120 handles. That was a 120 handle move. But the what I said earlier is like, when I know that I'm on the right side and I got, my 10, 20 handles in line with the bigger move, I don't feel the FOMO. I refuse to feel the FOMO, and I look at it as a growth opportunity that, hey, my analysis is being correct. I'm correct in my analysis. I'm on the right side, and hey, maybe I'm going to take off 4 contracts and hold 1 for the bigger move. There's areas to grow in that. But on a no news day, I'm just willing to take everything off and be happy with it. So we have this equilibrium of Friday's range sitting right here. Let's see if price wants to actually reach for it. And then what happens after we reach for it. We could consolidate around there for a little bit because it is equilibrium. But I think there's reason that we could suggest that price wants to move back lower towards the previous day low. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But you could take a trade towards it once we find resistance on the upside. You could take a trade, an inversion, a breaker to the downside. You don't have to hit this level. We don't even have to get halfway to that level. We could just get 10, 20 handles and you could call that your trade. But I think there's opportunity for that. Let's see how this reacts here. The 1 hour. Tag the order block right there at 8 a.m. Nice. Now we swept liquidity. Now, when it comes to liquidity being swept, this is all that the 1 hour had to do. If it wants to move higher, it could, but it doesn't have to. So that's why the analysis now needs to be further or more than just the 1 hour time frame. Excuse me. My level is not on. My level is a little low. Let's move this up correctly. There it is. And then make sure we're on that. All right. Okay. Now, for those of you that have got the email to join the Academy this morning, if you are having issues with the Discord, I'm assuming it connects and it works correctly. But if you're having issues with it, just email me, and I will make sure we get that adjusted. But I'm excited on what's to come, folks. I'm excited. I'm done for the day. All right, Ted. I understand. So I'm going to be going back over and reviewing some of the 930, a little bit of the 930 model. It worked again today. Right now it has an 83% win rate. I'm a little nervous on the copy side of things. It works great on a single account. I'm not worried about that. It's the copied account, because sometimes it hits my level on, and then half of the accounts will trigger, but the other ones won't, and it has to come back to it a second time. That's really what I'm nervous about on if I'm going to copy these on a larger level. For you, Kane, let me think here. How do I want to do that? If you, Kane, go ahead and email me. If you want to email me, you can email me at dtjacademy@gmail.com. And then I'll connect with you. Connect with you on that off live. Patrick, do we think we're going to continue higher? Now, I want you to note something. Look at this. Look at what we did. We tagged the equilibrium of the previous day range, and look at the sell-off we've seen. If we go to the 30-second, there's going to be a breaker there, I think. It's right there. If I put a gun to my head, gut feeling, I think we move lower. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's just, now that we hit the equilibrium of the previous day range, I think it has permission to begin to move lower, but we could see price do one of these things for a bit. Maybe it wicks a little higher, and then it starts doing one of these, and then it drops, running back for the lows down here. Not exactly in that order. I mean, this is a crude description of what it could look like. All right, it is 1 minute, 30 seconds until the next 11 a.m. macro time. This will be the last, basically, 15 minutes I'll be on. Ted, all right, my friend. When you get some time, check out the Discord and make sure that you got access to everything, because I just want to make sure it's all working appropriately, and then we'll start building out everything on that end. So I'm super excited about it. This has been a dream of mine for a long time, to start a community of traders with a biblical worldview, because it's more than just making money. It's about having a kingdom impact. So I'm very encouraged about what the future holds. Not just for me, but just for all of us. I mean, for anybody that wants to be a part of that type of journey. So I think I could see some lower prices. I just don't know if it wants to be right now. Here's a nice little breaker that it's found support in. We could hit this a couple times. We could wick higher above this, but we hit a level that's of significance in my mind. I think what I would be looking for is a close below that. And if we close below this, I would be looking for a target price of this. Run this low, and then get into this fair value gap. That's where I'd want to find support. Or that's where I would expect price to find some support. That's cool, Kane. I'm excited. I want to see, so I just logged into an eval account. I am going to see if there's a setup that I like for maybe another 10 handles on an eval. I will be doing a single mini contract on an eval. But all my accounts, all my other accounts are closed. I am not copy trading. I am done for that. Gonna exercise discipline. It's a rainy day out today. Rainy, rainy. I do like the idea of a wick into here and a rejection of that. So if we can get above this, we just do a little wick into here and we reject. I would prematurely take that short below the before it closes below this. This is considered the model 2022 on ICT's 22 mentorship. Invite is invalid. Okay, thanks for letting me know, Ted. I'm glad you asked, because I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. Invite invalid. Alright, I'm going to try something here, Ted. If you're still on, hang out here with me. Oops. David, I do see your email as well. Give me a second here. Ted, I just sent a new link. I want to see if that works for you. see if there's an issue with it or not. David, I sent you the same one. Alright, I'm still waiting. I'm watching the chart on my other screen here, folks. I'm watching to see if we actually are going to close below that inversion. If we wick higher, to see how that handles, see what it does here. Either way, David or Ted, let me know here. Okay, that worked. All right, so what I'm going to do for anybody else is I'm going to go and replace that link and see if we can get that link fixed. I think that's probably the issue. Watching this. That's what I wanted. The body's closed below this. Now, this candle's important. Do we continue higher, or do we get a down close candle here? I'm gambling on this one, folks. This is a little bit of a gamble. We swept liquidity, got a down close candle, low resistance liquidity here. We hit a higher time frame target on the daily time frame. We could easily push higher up here, but we're going to take a stab on an eval account that we run this low resistance liquidity, seeing if it wants to run all the way down to here. Stop to break even needs to be after we run the low of this candle here. That's the rules. Well, technically, there are no rules for what I'm doing. So this is not the rule. The rule is if we close below this inversion here, then your break-even point is here. So we're watching this candle to see if it closes below this. We did sweep this liquidity here. That's not good. I'm moving my stop to break even, just to protect my interests. But if we get a close below this, we could see price flush down to this level. We are also in the macro time, so this would be the time that I would want to see it happen. We have a small little breaker, mini breaker right here. Morning, Jesse. I think I'm going to keep my stop here. I think I want to leave it there. It's only 3 handles, and I'm willing to take that risk. really want to see this close down like this. Do not want to see another green candle. Manipulation. First half of the candle, and then we should see an expansion here. It's what I want to see. Again, key level is this inversion fair value gap right here. We want to see that closed below, and break even would be when we hit this swing low right here, this level here. If we can get to it. We really need to run these lows right now. If we don't, we could stay in consolidation or it could continue higher. Equal lows right there. Alright, there's the push of that level. Is that a close? That is not a close below. But it looks like we're going to get that. Let's see if we can get the close below, or if it's going to be a complete reversal here. That was not a close below. It closed on the level. I like to see it close below. Alright, there. Oh, no close. Son of a biscuit. Those are annoying. And then it does one of those things. Hopefully it closes without running that low. Let's see what happens here. It created equal lows. 7 seconds. That sucks. So this inversion is now invalid. We cannot take that inversion short because it ran this liquidity. You could say, well, I want it to be this liquidity for the low, and you could take it based on this retracement right here. That would give you an opportunity if you would use this level. I still think we see lower here. At least to this level here is really what I'd want to see. And that would also be the 5 minute. It would be coming into that 5 minute right there. So this low would be coming into the 5 minute. So for sure into this level. We should run this level. That's really what I want to see. Volume imbalance that we just wicked above right there. Little volume imbalance we wicked. Let's see if we stay below it now. There is another volume imbalance up here. Sitting right here. Volume imbalance. That's where I want it to run to, is the 633 level. The 660s levels sitting down here. That's where I'd want it to run. Watching this breaker still. This breaker is kind of my last line of defense that I'm watching. I'm half tempted to add another contract, but that just seems a little unwise, especially in all of this consolidation and back and forth. Five-minute looks very indecisive, but I really do like this 5-minute level sitting there that we come down into. I guess we did do it once. What about the 15-minute? What does a 15-minute look like? Yeah, 15-minute. Let's change that to a 15-minute. That's a 15-minute level there. Watching the discount portion of this breaker block, we want to see it stay ideally below the mean threshold. You can see the mean threshold, or excuse me, the consequent encroachment right here. I want to see all the bodies stay beneath it, preferably. And it closed above it right there. I'm going to go ahead and close the trade. That last candle is what told me that I need to get out of it. I'll be right back, folks. Get to use the restroom. close above this order block and above this 30-second here. I just don't think we're going to get it. I mean, it's flirting with us around here. I think it's done for at least this session. Okay, let's see here. All right, there's a sweep of liquidity, still respecting this equilibrium level. This is where, I mean, you look at the 30-second, guys, it's just choppy. I mean, I said I was going, I took that short, but I'm probably not going to take anything else here. I'm just not liking it. Vega, yes, sir. Look at that. Tell me, what do you think I'm interested in here? This is gold, by the way. What do you think I would be interested in? If you go onto the daily time frame of gold and you're going through charts, you're like, what asset, what futures account should I be trading? Which one, what do you think would be very attractive here? If I was to give a specific level, I think it's here. That's where I would be considering a short. If it gets up into this level, my wife was like, should we buy more gold now? Should we buy gold? And I said, no, this is a market maker sell model, honey. This sucker's going to continue to fall. Boom. Here's our smart money reversal. Stage 1 distribution. Now we're in stage 2, meaning we could do something like this, and then we just drop. This is the level I really would like to see, is that level there. You see how, guys, I mean, this is significant. This is significant. I really enjoy seeing this. Is that, look at the aggression for all this price action here. Very intentional. And then look where it just decides to find consolidation, and where it consolidates. At this equilibrium point on the daily chart. That's the 4 hour. On the daily chart. Meaning from this candle's high to this candle's low, on Friday's price action, you find the middle, and that's the middle right there. So while we may not take a trade from it, we could easily take a trade to it. So we use the London high as a draw on liquidity. This hasn't been tagged yet from the previous week. I mean, that's a nice little level that I'm just noticing more and more. On the 4 hour chart, we have this 4 hour fair value gap that it has now officially tagged right there. And then on the hourly, we also hit the hourly fair value gap. I do like that right there. We're doing an eval trade here. Let's see if we can run to these lows here. Got equal lows. Gonna take one off there if we can get to it. want at least 10 handles. This is an eval trade. Swept liquidity here in a 4-hour fair value gap, 1-hour fair value gap, aggressive displacement. It's in line with, it's not really running any market structure shift, so there is no market structure shift here. I'm really not liking how it's not moving here. A close above this inversion, I would close it. Again, if this was my live account, I would not have taken this. I just wouldn't be trading in general. All right, so there's the, I'm going to give this a second. It did not close it. Landed on that level. I'm going to give it a second. But 100%, if it closes above this level, this is an inversion to the upside, so you'd want to get out of it immediately. Another one. I'm not liking that. Folks, we're going to call it a day there. We're past the 11 a.m. macro, and price action is just not looking very good. Again, took my trade at the bottom, way down here, for that long that we took right here on this breaker. That was the last funded account trade that I took. Everything else, I think we took 2 eval trades that I just saw the opportunity, but it just didn't work out. So price action's not favorable to continue, and you just got to know when to stop. So we're going to call it a day there, folks. We will be back again. I need to find out if it's going to be tomorrow or not, but more than likely we'll be back again tomorrow. I'll put a note in the community notes on YouTube if something changes. Other than that, guys, have a blessed day. Thanks for being here. Stay safe, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.